Hello everybody, nice to have you here. Today I'll share the small use case while I worked last weeks on one of the Adobe Commerce plus EDS projects, and then I realized that use case quite be interested to share also for myself, that I don't forget when I come back to it in weeks, months later. And today we'll talk about the importer, or how to import documents into the Adobe Document Authoring tool. I hope you have basic understanding what EDS and document authoring means. If not, I'll drop some documentation links down. I'll not focus on this today. Today I'll purely focus on the use case I want to talk about. And without waiting too much, let's just jump in. So we have here the document authoring tool, where that's a place where you store in all your content for your website, for your storefront, including the whole drop-ins and blogs, so everything which is built in your storefront. So that's your storefront file management system, let's name it so. And in my example, I have here the clean EDS projects I pulled, no customizations, quite standard one. And that's the way how it's organized when you just initialize the EDS project. Then I have a task that I'm migrating customer from old system to the new document author, and they have a lot of content they already managed, and they will be happy to move to the new platform without doing it all manually, especially if you have thousands of pages. As for example, for this video, I took the wiki pages, so which I assume we want to migrate to the new document authoring tool. If for sure, I can just create a new document, make a test, and then just try to make something like that. So you can paste the content itself manually with everything which is around, and for sure not something you want to have. I mean, you want to have the clean content because this page contains only the content information. It shall not contain the header, styles, whatever else, or which components you don't want to have, which replicate from page to page, for example, header, breadcrumbs, menu links, and so on. It's a pure content. Adobe thought about this because it's a very common use case and made or build a helper which allow you to simplify this process. And let me go back. And with this being said, I go to the project itself. So that's my EDS project where you see that's all files, blocks, and so on and so on. And if I will open the terminal, I can use tool named Helix Import. Let me show it. So that's the tool itself, that's the UI for this tool. And before start it, you have to install your AEM. I mean, yes, because EDS originally started as AEM project. So you need to install AEM CLI tool, which is quite simple steps. Let's just maybe quickly go. I mean, you just install in the AEM CLI package. And then within your EDS, for example, you can also do it standalone. You can run AEM import. This import will roll out this tool. If you don't have it installed, it will do it for you. If you already have it installed as me, you just will have it started. Almost. And it will open such tool. So it's literally the local host which open in the tool/importer. It's pulling it also under the tool/importer. So if you go here to the tools, you have importer here. That's our Helix Importer UI, which has been pulled. And you have this nice interface, this simple interface, which allow you to import the different stuff. So what this tool is generally doing. So this tool it's provided a helper as a developer to migrate one content from any source, from any HTML source, into the document authoring. I mean, I'm giving an example of document authoring. You can do much more with it, because what is interesting for me is save HTML for document authoring. You can also save files as a docx, as a raw HTML, as a markdown, as a JavaScript, enable JavaScript if you want to, and that's it. And you can do it one per page, so you can just make it for one page, and you can do it as a bulk just to upload in the bunch of the links here. We will start from the first one, from the one. And in our case, it's this page with a pizza, so the Wikipedia page. what the tool is doing itself. So it's right on the set of the helpers, and the transformation you build in yourself, because tool don't know the source of the HTML, how it was built, which elements been used there, which containers, and so on and so on. Unfortunately, you have to build importer yourself. That's why I have here this importer import.js file, and I'll come to it later. And this file is transforming the source it's pulling from the original page, so from here, into the way that you can then paste it into the document authoring. And as I said, we're interested in save HTML for document authoring here. So to kickstart of it, you have to create this import file. I have it here, I already made it. And here I tried to make it as simple as possible. So what is it doing? It's literally just getting the document. So it's pulling the document from the source page, and then you can apply different elements of this web importer class. For example, in my case, I'm telling which elements to remove. So it's removing header, footer, navigation, all script styles. So all text which listed here will be removed, and then I'll get the clean HTML. You for sure can make it much more advanced. There are a bunch of functions. Here they are. So the web importer itself has a different conversion functions, like to docx, to HTML, to markdown, and so on. And then you can manipulate the elements around, like remove particular elements. But I mean, I will not go through the whole function list here. You can go to the documentation, I'll paste down, and just check it out. Also, what is quite more relevant for document authoring itself is to create the metadata block. What I'm doing here, to get metadata block, where you defining the metadata for this particular page. For example, title, keywords, images, description. So something which going into the metadata area. And that's what I'm doing here, just by getting h1 and then the description and adding it to the metadata block. And that's it. So the script here is quite simple. Honestly, from feedback, you can, after you run this Helix import, you can ask your AI agent, as I did, and it will create quite nice importer of the content, because this operation is quite simple, don't require any strict code standard, it just have to work. And as a result, you define your path to your script and then doing an import. Then you define where to save it. I have it here, result wiki, select, save changes. And that's what you get as a result. You have a preview here of everything which is left. So that's your HTML without any content which is around. We can compare it. So that's it. You don't have this PDF watch language, I assume. Yes, you don't. You have only images. You have here some content. And you have this metadata block I talked about, which in our case defined the only title at this moment, because there were no description on this document. But you can make for sure much more with it. And that's it. And in the end, you have your file, you've been saved in the file system. Then when you have your import.js work and running and you're happy with the result, you can do the bulk import. So let's, for now, migrate those 3 URLs here, like pizza, bread, chocolate. The import option is the same. You define in the URL. And you save in as document authoring. You do an import, selecting the result, 1, 2, 3, and we have 3 pages being migrated and saved. So let's have a look on them. We have here page number 1, which is our bread, it's our chocolate, which somehow is very empty. I'm curious why. Let's try. Oh, that's interesting. So this page is literally failed to import. Wait. So, and in the end, the difference was that there was another query selector for the main content, because looks like pages has a different containers around. So we can try again for chocolate, and now it works fine. So in the end, I would then just retry it to have all content fresh again. 1, 2, 3. Then let's check our result. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 pages, and then you literally just go to your DA. I guess I already created one. We have a folder here, for example, pages, whatever. So, and then we upload in our results into the DA. So in the wiki folder, for example, you can just drag and drop it here. Okay. And then if you open it, you have the content available with metadata I talked about. After you're done, you can publish them. You can preview them and so on. There is a way to do it faster, because if you imported thousands of pages, you can do it much faster. You can go here to apps and then go to bulk operation. I'm wrong. Wait. First, try to crawl it by defining your site URL. So you have like this. Wiki. You can crawl it. You have a list here with 3 URLs. Then you can copy it, go to apps, go to bulk operations, paste those 3 URLs here, and then index them if necessary, preview, and publish if you want to. And in the end, that's our URL. Oh, that's our page. Then another quite important point. So you could migrate like this thousands of pages. What the problem is still stays if your pages contain images which reference to the external URLs. If you'll have a look on our page, where is it? Here. You will have a look that we have this upload media wiki here available. You would need to migrate them into your DA and or any other media storage. That all depends on use cases, because if you're using AEM assets, or you're using some S3 bucket somewhere there in the internet, and you have your media here, you may want to migrate them. So for sure, if you're migrating from the old system to new, and the URLs are still correct here, and you can fetch them, and then maybe also define the coarse policies if they're too heavy. You can keep it like it is or leave it like it is, but in different cases you may need to migrate it, and these steps unfortunately you have to do manually. You can simplify it a bit. You still will need to create a script for that, because so have a look. First of all, when you get a result, you have here the assets list. That's something the tool already provides you to simplify the process, which defines you the site origin, so the base URL, and then the all assets which you have. If you want to migrate them into your system, you would need to create the script yourself for that. I have it somewhere. Maybe I can just shortly show it to you. So I have a script which is doing this logic for me, and it just scroll in the URL and then upload to the API of the admin DA live to source comrab, standing, so your repo name, wiki / then page, and then a file name. So the folders prefixes with .something will not be visible on the list, but the files will be available for you. And then what you need to do after, you unfortunately still need to adjust your file. I would say not this one. I would say if you're already creating the script that uploading the images to the assets, you can just create the script that will change the content within the file. So it will find all reference and replace them on the new links. That's something you have to build yourself. So the tool is not providing this functionality. In the end, what I can tell you, if you know the HTML structure, you can for sure build it yourself, not using this importer tool. If it's pure to the AEM migration, from another point of view, it's providing you the wrapper and the helpers, which if you will use the AI agent and will upload them there, they will be much easier to understand what to do, and the process will be much cleaner, and you can easily restart it again, test it, see the results, and all other stuff. And that's it for today. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope it was interesting, and we see each other in the next videos. Bye bye.